Have you ever walked into a store for one item and walked out with a full cart and an empty wallet wondering what just happened? If you're nodding your head right now, you're about to discover why your brain is basically conspiring against your bank account every single day. Today we're diving deep into the hidden psychology behind every dollar you spend, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you make the financial decisions you do, and more importantly, how to take back control of your money once and for all. Your brain wasn't designed for modern spending. Think about it. For thousands of years, our ancestors lived in a world of scarcity where the biggest financial decision was whether to eat the berries now or save them for winter. Fast forward to today and we're bombarded with thousands of spending opportunities every single day, from the moment we wake up and check our phones to the targeted ads that follow us around the internet like financial vampires. The problem is our Stone Age brains are trying to navigate a digital age economy, and frankly, they're failing miserably. Every purchase you make isn't just a rational calculation of cost versus benefit. Instead, it's an emotional battlefield where fear, desire, status anxiety, and instant gratification are all fighting for control of your wallet. Let's start with the most powerful emotion driving your spending decisions: fear. But not the kind of fear you might expect. We're talking about loss aversion, the psychological principle that the pain of losing something feels twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Retailers have weaponized this against you in ways you probably don't even realize. Ever seen those countdown timers on websites telling you there are only 3 items left in stock? That's loss aversion in action. Your brain isn't thinking about whether you actually need that item. Instead, it's panicking about potentially missing out on a deal that might never come again. The fear of losing the opportunity overrides your logical thinking about whether the purchase makes sense. Credit card companies understand this psychology perfectly. They've discovered that when you pay with cash, you feel the immediate pain of loss as those bills leave your hand. But when you swipe a card or tap your phone, that pain is delayed and diminished. It's why studies show people spend 12 to 18% more when using cards versus cash. The emotional impact of spending has been deliberately minimized to encourage more purchases. But fear isn't the only emotion controlling your spending. Let's talk about the dopamine hit that comes with buying something new. Your brain releases the same feel-good chemical when you make a purchase as it does when you eat chocolate or receive a compliment. This creates what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill, where you need increasingly frequent purchases to maintain the same level of happiness. Think about the last time you bought something you'd been wanting for a while. Remember that initial excitement, that rush of satisfaction? Now think about how long that feeling lasted. Probably not very long before you started wanting something else. This isn't a personal failing, it's your brain's reward system doing exactly what it evolved to do, except now, it's being triggered by marketing algorithms instead of actual survival needs. Social media has amplified this emotional spending in ways we're only beginning to understand. Every scroll through Instagram or TikTok exposes you to carefully curated lifestyles that make your own life seem inadequate by comparison. That comparison triggers what researchers call social spending, where you purchase items not because you need them, but because you want to signal to others and yourself that you belong to a certain social group. The psychology gets even more complex when we examine how your current emotional state affects spending decisions. Studies have shown that people spend more money when they're sad, stressed, or lonely. Retail therapy isn't just a cute phrase. It's a real psychological phenomenon where people use purchases to temporarily boost their mood or fill an emotional void. Department stores have known this for decades. Ever notice how they pump certain scents into their stores, play specific types of music, and use particular lighting? These environmental factors are designed to put you in an emotional state that encourages spending. They're not selling you products, they're selling you feelings. Your brain also falls victim to what economists call present bias, the tendency to overvalue immediate rewards compared to future benefits. This is why you'll spend $5 on coffee every morning, but struggle to put money into your retirement account. The coffee gives you instant gratification while retirement savings feel abstract and distant. Credit card minimum payments exploit this bias perfectly. They allow you to satisfy your present bias by making a small payment now while pushing the real financial pain into the future. Your brain focuses on the immediate relief of making the minimum payment rather than calculating the long-term cost of interest accumulation. Let's examine another powerful psychological trigger: anchoring. This happens when the first piece of information you receive about a price becomes the reference point for all future judgments about value. Retailers use this by showing you the original price crossed out next to the sale price. That higher number becomes your anchor, making the sale price seem like an incredible deal, even if it's still overpriced. The timing of your financial decisions also matters more than you might realize. Research shows that people make different spending choices at different times of the day, week, and month. You're more likely to make impulsive purchases when you're tired, hungry, or stressed. This is called decision fatigue, and it's why grocery stores put candy and magazines right at the checkout line where your willpower is already depleted from making dozens of food choices. Your personal money story, formed in childhood, continues to influence your adult spending behavior in unconscious ways. If you grew up in a household where money was scarce, you might either be extremely frugal or, alternatively, spend impulsively when you have money because you're afraid it won't last. If money was abundant in your childhood, you might struggle with the concept that resources are limited and need to be managed carefully. Understanding these psychological patterns is the first step toward taking control, but awareness alone isn't enough. You need practical strategies to work with your brain's wiring rather than against it. One effective technique is implementing what behavioral economists call friction in your spending process. Instead of storing your payment information on websites, make yourself enter it each time. Those extra 30 seconds give your rational mind time to catch up with your emotional impulses. Another powerful strategy is the 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases above a certain dollar amount. When you feel the urge to buy something, write it down and wait a full day. Often, you'll find that the emotional intensity behind the purchase desire has faded, and you can make a more rational decision. You can also harness your brain's reward system by gamifying your financial goals. Set up automatic transfers to savings accounts and celebrate small milestones. Give yourself non-monetary rewards for hitting spending targets or debt reduction goals. This creates positive emotional associations with good financial behavior instead of only experiencing the pain of restriction. The key to lasting change is understanding that your emotions aren't the enemy of good financial decisions. They're simply tools that can be redirected toward better outcomes. Instead of fighting against your psychological wiring, learn to work with it strategically. Your spending decisions will always be influenced by emotions, but now you have the knowledge to recognize when those emotions are being manipulated and the tools to make choices that align with your long-term financial well-being rather than just your immediate emotional needs. The next time you feel that familiar pull to buy something you hadn't planned for, pause and ask yourself, what emotion is driving this decision? Once you can identify the feeling behind the spending urge, you can address the real need without necessarily opening your wallet. Your future self will thank you for taking control of the psychology behind your spending today.